Hi everyone, this is Richard. In this video, let's talk about routing. So routing in the very fundamental thing is that when you go from one web page to the next, routing is the method, the means which you use so that it becomes a predictable thing, right? So when you click on one thing, it goes particularly one place, not some random place that it goes one place time and another place another time. It's a way of basically organizing that system. All right. So in Blazor, we went through a few things here. Let's take a look here. So main layout right here. And what we talked about was here's the nav menu, and here's the body. So if you remember some components that the components, let's look at a particular component, right? Child, right here. If you look at a particular component right here, there is some interaction going on. So this is the child, right? And so we can actually do things to move things around. In fact, you could do all of this just in this one component, right? So you could have the home, the counter, the fetch data. All of this can actually be just in this one component. You could build it in there. And if you interact with it, the code would interact with it, delete some of these elements, add some elements, and you could do all of that from code. But the problem with that is it becomes very messy very quickly. It would be better to just separate these things out. And if you want to do, for example, the fetch data, what you're actually doing is going to a different website and bringing that website back into the the main layout page, okay? Because what we're doing is main layout right here. This thing is not going to change, but every time we want to change a large amount of stuff on the screen, the at body, instead of continuing to add, subtract, and with code, and make a lot of manipulations to what's going on here, what we would rather just do is go to a different web page, get all of that data, and put it right here also. So routing in Blazor is basically an organized way of getting different web page to represent itself in the at body location, okay? I think it's more complicated than that, but that's all I got right now, all right? We'll keep moving forward. How it does this is through I think we mentioned this before, the at page directive. So at page, it's a slash, right? And so that would be the index, that would be the base. So this would be the index.razor, it would be right here, okay? And then from there on, depending upon where we go, like this is grandchild, so if we type up here, so we're going to a different website, right? By going to the different website, this part stays the same, this part changes, the main layout stays the same. You're just importing a new website in this location. So that's how it's a web application. That's how routing occurs, at least with Blazor. And that always confused me a little bit itself because I'm usually, you know how you go to Google and you click something and a completely new browser, a complete new website comes up? It's sort of like that, but kind of in a mini version, right? So, but that's what the basics of routing is in Blazor, okay? Couple of things to keep in mind, okay? So each one of these has to have a unique value here, okay? Unique location. You can't have grandchild here and then a grandchild here. It has to be one unique one. However, you can have more than one directives here. So you can say at page / next or something like that. So you can actually do this. Let's try this again. And so when you go to the index, it'll say this is index starting point. If you go to child, it'll look like this. But if you go to next, it'll go to this is index starting point. Right? So you can have multiple different at page directives right here. So that's just one of the characteristics of it. We'll probably be using that in the future, but I'm not sure the benefit of that at this point in time. All right, so that's it. Let's keep going forward further with routing in more detail, okay? Thanks.